Brazilians. How? Okay. Ready to start this thing?
Cheers, man. Yeah.
All right, let's keep it moving. Before we start, subscribe somewhere on the video. I don't know. I still don't even know where you hit that. But episode 32, 100 podcast, I brought in my boy Cameron Dunn. Cam, fucking my buddy Trevor's little brother. That's how I knew him growing up. And now he's a grown-ass man, bro. What's going on? How's life going? How's Corona pandemic, bro? Like, what's going on?
As everybody probably thinks, life is crazy right now.
Yeah, dude.
There's a lot going on. But good. I mean, family's all healthy, which is good. But still grinding through this,
Yeah.
My dad owning his own company and stuff. It's, there's a little bit of a change to the whole pandemic and how it affects business when people...
Is his business, well, it's still considered essential, correct? Because his is a landscaping...
Yeah.
Yeah, so how is he handling it? Did he have to do anything with his employees? Because I know he has kind of a bigger small business. It's family owned, I feel like, still, right? Family owned, but it's still like he's got a good set of employees. Did he have to do anything with that? Do you know?
Yeah, so he didn't have to, well... Essentially, there was a rule that was in place. There was I think there was 3 times where they came out with, hey, this is what's new.
Uh-huh.
And essentially, what they covered primarily is, hey, you fire somebody, and we give you this assistance, you have to hire them back.
Okay, yeah.
And there was some update to this whole deal. Everybody was applying and stuff. Everybody is. I don't know if you heard, like, the PPP is the program. And it actually shut down because it was overloaded. The service couldn't handle it several times. Too many people are being unemployed or, having to, sign for that. And, ultimately it's kind of a waiting game. They have 2.5% of your payables for, I'm losing my words. Payables for all your workers and higher end administrative employees. So you're talking payroll. And sorry, I lost the word payroll.
Yeah, you're good.
No, but so payroll, I mean, it adds up, and there's times where you own your own business, payroll comes out of pocket, but when it's up there, you look for assistance, and they came out with 2.5 months of assistance, which is sick. But like throwing numbers out, you take $100,000 every 2 weeks payroll. Example, you throw a month in there, you got $2,000. Well, I'm sorry, $200,000.
Yeah.
So if it's coming out of your pocket because you're not making money from everybody, all your clients that are, scared because of coronavirus. They're not willing to pay whatever it is you did for them at that time.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you can't really do anything else. You're not going to, take them to court because they have all this money. They put a lien on the house, whatever. It's $20 million. You're not going to get your money anytime soon for that. So, you just make sure you can back yourself up. But with everybody not paying...
It's kind of just...
You're like, oh shit, I really need this help. And if I don't, like, what happens? You know what I mean?
And on top of that, a lot of those... I don't know a lot of those programs that are going on right now. I've heard some of them. I don't know. Because my father-in-law, he owns a small business. But what I did hear is a lot of those big companies were taking all those small... Those loans and those programs that were for the small businesses, like your dad's business, for example, or... Mm-hmm. My father-in-law's moving company, like, before they even had a chance, like they for some reason were getting priority when it was supposed to be for small businesses. Do you have any idea why? Just because they're bigger businesses, they have more control, more power?
I think it does have to do with numbers. If you think of it, and this is not bias. I'm not trying to influence opinion, but from that question, thinking facts. Well, big businesses and corporations usually provide a large part of the economic, factors. So when you're talking about giving Amazon priority over, 2,000 small businesses, you go, okay, numbers, how much
makes sense.
Will this impact Amazon versus, impacting them?
Do you think a grant or a loan or something would help out in this pandemic? Do you think it would help out a big business that much, though? Do you think they have that? I understand, like, some of them are slow, but, like, just for an example, just since you said Amazon, for example, like, would they really even need that help? And that's kind of a bad example because they're a big-ass company, obviously. Yeah, and they kind of do their own thing, but...
Any big thing, like, you could even take, like, Best Buy.
Yeah.
So
Best Buy is perfect because they're kind of closed, but you can kind of do the pickup. So I know their sales got to be going down.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So although they might be big business, it doesn't mean all big businesses are rich. It's not why they're big. It's just they start providing more things. There's more departments and stuff.
Gotcha.
Which means whatever you have, you're adding, that also adds cost. So you must be generating more income. So let's theoretically say Best Buy has, $38 million in capital in savings because they haven't been doing well or whatever it is. Next thing you know, you get hit by coronavirus. Okay, if you don't get help, well, no matter what you're taking from that savings, you're starting to go. And you think about how big some of these businesses are.
How quickly those losses can add up.
Just insanely quickly. And I think it's an important thing to do, especially like I mentioned a bad example of like Amazon because of how much money they make.
Just how huge they are.
Yeah.
But just because I've been so deep into fucking stocks lately. I've been getting so deep into them, bro. Like pennies and everything. I know pennies are shitty, but whatever. I like to get into everything. I like to be a little risky, but even just doing my research on all the stocks, even the shitty ones, bro. I came across Chesapeake Energy. Have you ever heard of Chesapeake? They're CHK on the stock market. Jesus Christ, bro. I was saying that they could possibly go bankrupt, and going from being a $1 billion corporation was just so crazy to me. I don't know. Just seeing, just because you brought up Best Buy and how if they had a bad couple quarters, they could go bankrupt, something like that. And just seeing a corporation that was making $1 billion in revenue go down to, they're a strong sell. I don't know how deep you can go into that, obviously, but that just trips me out. Just seeing a business like that go from $1 billion to nothing, basically. And not that they're nothing yet, but they're on the possibility of going bankrupt, which is pretty much nothing.
Yeah, so I think that, part of getting into stocks and stuff like that, I think some you really do, if you're really, about getting into it and really understanding all the different parts of it, you start investing in things That's a very common thing, and it's a very common theme as, you get older and stuff. Everybody around you starts investing in things they know. They're tangible. So, you can look at all these resources, but I would say the best resources are any, investment firms, because what some of them provide are, tools when you sign in as a client of theirs. You can go ahead and actually look up any particular investment you want to look up, and you get analyst reports, reviews, stuff like that. And that's where the content comes from, because
all that news, all that info.
Yeah, and it's it's part of their earnings and their statements and stuff like that. So you talk about a company that I invested in, several $100 million put away in revenues. Now they're operating at a loss, and I knew that. They creating a product, got it improved in multiple countries, and let's just say the product didn't meet all the sales, but they still have several $100 million in backup revenue to be able to generate things.
Yeah.
So even something like that, well, a business like that comes with a lot of costs. And this particular investment, I knew it was going down because it wasn't meeting requirements, but it was supposed to spike up because following getting approval, what happens? Things start moving there. You start getting revenue and stuff. And I thought it was going to come up, ends up going down and gets bought out.
Really?
I make money on the investment because the price of it went up after being purchased.
It got bought out, yeah.
Things like that, those are the little hiccups. That's like a very lucky hiccup for not knowing the item. So you think about stuff like that in businesses going down. If you know the item, man, it's different.
I've made a mistake that made me a couple $100, and it was on I invested in a pharmaceutical. It had like an FDA approval coming up, and I had no day trades, and I bought it on the day of the FDA approval, and that's pretty sketchy. Like, it could happen, like it could jump up, but if it doesn't, it could fucking go pretty shitty for you. And it went up. And everybody kind of expected it to, like go down a little bit. I don't know what it's called in the right, stock terms or whatever, but go down and kind of like figure out its right price, and it just kept going, dude. And I made probably 200%. I put in maybe like $100. I made like $300 or something on it, and it was in one day. It was maybe like a day and a half because I couldn't sell it in that day. I had to sell it the next day. But examples like that, like I feel like that was a mistake because I didn't have any day trades, and if it let's say it did get denied or whatever, and it started going down, I had nothing I could do. I would just watch it fly down, and I couldn't do any day trades because I don't have 25 grand. I'm not a day trader. So just an example like that, it was one of those mistakes that just kind of worked out in my favor, I guess. And I've made those mistakes before. And one that just kind of happened, actually, and it was when I just got back into stocks and I was kind of fucking around again. And I made the same mistake that I always end up making when I get right back into stocks. I don't do enough of my research and my due diligence. I kind of jump back in, and I got into Blue Apron. And it fucking flew down, dude. It flew down like a couple bucks, and I lost like probably like $100. And now I'm working my way back up. I'm doing it the right way again, and I'm not, I'm not the FOMO. Have you ever heard FOMO? Fear of missing out, or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I'm not doing that no more. I'm keeping it cool, making my profits, making my percentages, and cutting my losses, and and then you gotta it's kind of sketchy though, because I'm sure and I want to go into your career, obviously. I'm sure with your career, it's kind of sketchy because you got to cut your losses, right? But you got to understand when it's going to fluctuate. Like, the price might go down for a minute, and you don't want to sell low. You want it to kind of like, if it gets low, let it go back up, let it ride back up. There's certain times in the day, where it kind of sells out for a little bit. Some stocks, it's not every day exactly, but, you can kind of tell when it's going to sell out in the middle of the day, and then it'll kind of maybe run at the end of the day, whatever. Morning, it might run. Stocks might run. But yeah, like so it's just kind of you got to play that middle ground. Mm. You got to know when to sell out, but you got to know too. I got to trust yourself a little bit.
Yeah, I think with that being said, it's like almost three factors you kind of put into play there, and you first want to identify your objective. You're going short-term capital gains, or you're going long-term.
Yeah,
a lot of day traders.
Actually, before you go into this, tell me what you're doing. Let's go on. Just tell me your career real quick, and then tell me these three factors real quick. Just tell me, what are you doing? Where do you work at? So, you don't have to tell me exactly where you work at, but tell me what you do as a career.
Right now, I'm a financial representative at a really well-known firm. One of the firms that were actually the first that the government reached out to during this whole pandemic, because the government didn't know what to do. They reached out to 3 firms, 3 or 4, not sure. But part of one of those firms. Yep, and there's a lot going on, obviously, with the whole coronavirus, but I do that, and I haven't really done much outside of it. I'm actually looking for a new position at one of our other branches.
And you went to school for that too? Did you go to school for finance or
finance and economics, minor marketing, 3.5 years. It's
how was it? I think I've kind of fell in love with it, actually, with stocks and that whole thing. Now, I haven't gotten too deep, but how was that as a major? Was it pretty interesting going to that for school? Was it a lot of numbers?
Yeah, well, there was a lot of graphs. Yeah, it's funny because I feel like I'm gonna be real. Okay?
Yeah,
be real.
Go.
I didn't open up a textbook one time all of college.
Really? You just were just rolled through?
Yeah, it was. Do your work. The amount of work you get, if you can somehow sponge that shit up without getting depressed for having no life, good for you. I swear I know maybe one person. But, if you can do everything there and sponge it all up, sweet. If you can't, you got to run with it. You got to do what you got to do, try to focus on some things. So you get bits and pieces, you learn a lot, but at the same time, man, when you get out, there's one thing I learned. It doesn't matter if you go to school. It's there. You have a moment in life where you get an opportunity and your mindset changes from, hey, I think I'm ready for this. Yeah, I'm going to hit a role. This is like a first actual role. I know the name, the title. I know my purpose. And it's cool when I say it because I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
And you change from that perspective to, holy shit, I'm learning everything brand new. Like, okay,
I got you.
I'm this, but I got to make sure and be this because I'm, killing it. You know what I mean? Behind the scenes in the books and stuff.
Yeah. You actually got to put put it down on the paper. You gotta actually like make it work.
Yeah, no, and I think it's just so real because it depends. I have to apply it, to what's going on to be able to fully like get it. And yeah, I've run through all the stocks and stuff, in class and stuff, but now you're having the real world. You're doing this every day.
The school has nothing to do with the real life. Like
it does to a certain extent if you can really find time to focus on what it is. If you can manage it, it's hard because in college you do good, you get credit. If you do bad, it's like you can't make it up. So it's like you look at your point scale, you're like, this is how much, and you're trying to accumulate as much, you know what I mean, by your missing, and you know that nothing's coming back. So it's hard. But if you can manage like C's and maybe the 2 classes you're really fixed on, try to get A's in those,
Yeah.
It's cool. It's just so much reading and material and the high expectation of it. Like, if you can do that, I'm telling you, come out guns blazing. Those are the people who become rich or retire young. But even smart people who become rich or retire young realize, hey, I'm doing it. I need to get this done. This is like, college has become a ticket that says, hey, I told myself I'd do something for a few years, and I actually did it.
Yeah.
That's all it says.
Yeah, exactly.
So, once you apply those...
Basically shows you can kind of put your mind to something for a couple years and get it done.
Yeah.
Start to finish, basically.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really prove anything. You still got to prove it in real life.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I'm going to be honest. You don't need it. Well, I always think you should get a college degree. I think...
I got an associate's.
Well, yeah, whatever it is, go to college. Get an extra...
something.
Slip of education, something that goes, hey, this inspires me, or this gives me, I'm going to go this direction, this isn't for me, but I know where I'm going, kind of, you get a 2-year period,
Yeah.
Mentally, maturity-wise, everybody needs that, and I do think if you put in extra effort, you could learn a lot from college resources. They have everything, but ultimately, it comes down to one thing. You wake up every day, and you are you. You make you want to be that person. Why? A, B, C, D. Okay, well, we'll just do that.
Yeah, you make all your choices.
The excuse,
you can do it.
No. Then you're not being you because you said you don't make excuses, but you're making one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's literally just getting that in there, and any rule, if you like, are about what it is, not just what you're doing, that's where it happens. Like, I use finance for example. Many people say, "Fuck finance," numbers, all this stuff. And what I think isn't necessarily all that. You eventually realize you're part of a team. This is what you do in a day, and these are the requirements you've met to get here. Now the next step of requirements are here, and you can get there as well. But it takes a few years of doing this really effectively to do that because it's so much information.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I get you. It's almost it's like. The way I relate it is with sports, like you got to get that practice in. You can't just go from 0 to fucking Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
you know what
but
I'm saying?
The thing is, people don't realize. They say you can't go to Michael Jordan. He's number one. So I think Michael Jordan's awesome. He's phenomenal. He's a legend. But you can.
Well, I'm saying you can get there, but you got to work on it.
Exactly.
You can't just be fucking. I'm MJ today, bro.
That's what I'm saying, and that's one thing that kills it. I think so many people in college. Having a good time, whatever, they come out thinking, oh, okay, I'm going to have a little bit of something behind me. They get to a job and all of a sudden, boom, I'm nothing.
Yeah.
Dude, and it's not downing college whatsoever, like I said, but it's just you all of a sudden are, okay, now you are you make you, and if you don't, that's your fault, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
That's what I was saying, my dad, he does what he says. And that was the example from a prior discussion we were holding. Like,
exactly,
it was just a little bit about very few people in life you come across, and you're like, wow, this person has not lied about what he's doing.
Everything he says he's gonna do is what he does. He doesn't bullshit.
Yeah.
He doesn't say extra. He doesn't make it sound better. He says exactly what he's gonna do.
Yeah, and even like reaching out and putting the extra hand out, doing something for somebody. Like they say, loving life is part of being like, hey, I'm doing this because I'm not just me. I'm doing it for this. You know what I mean? Having a cause behind it and just doing that, not just saying, oh, I'm going to, oh, I will. Yeah, I've done that, and I still do it even when I, don't feel like doing it's the best idea. I still do it because that's who I am. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's that.
You're you. Yeah. That's kind of
any job. That's kind of
job or life, bro. It just kind of like you got to make your choices. Like your choices, even when people aren't aren't there looking at you. It's like what choices you make, you know, and that goes down to work. Are you gonna put in the extra work? Are you gonna try to do the extra to be the person you think you are or the person you want to be? And it's just life or job or anything, you know. You got to put in that, like you said. If you're gonna, your dad, he's honest. Whatever he says he's gonna do, he does it, and that's a few people are like that. Mm-hmm. Very few,
and it's admirable. Like, you know, to connect to another thing that I've been really trying to work on is they're part of two things. It's listen to understand, not to respond, which hits very deep, and it's super applicable to life, and so many people would be so much more successful if they knew how to do it. And not only that, but speaking with a purpose, saying what you mean.
Yeah.
You know, and meaning what you say. Like, think about all the people you're like, whoa, that guy's crazy. But if you break it down, it's because they just say what's fact, and that fact has had effort put behind it. You know, yeah. I'm not giving you this because, everybody can. I'm doing this because, I made sure and prepared for you, whatever it was, or even in your own situation. I got here because I did A, B, C, and D, and I went ahead and I also did this. I was craving it, not just meeting the requirements or saying, oh, I am, but going, yeah, I could do it without having to do it.
Just trying to just skim by, kind of skid by, I guess. Whatever
it is. You know, it's, if you just do what it is that you know is right to do.
And that's what's crazy. I think most people, obviously the majority, some people are a little psycho, but, the majority of us, what the right thing is to do, You need to wake up and you probably need to get a good workout in, or maybe wake up and not sit there on your phone for an hour. Wake up, get a little meditation in. Wake up, cook some breakfast. Wake up, clean your room. Shit like that. And there's a lot of people that don't do that. And they know that, or go to bed on time. I need to go to bed and not sit there on my phone all night till midnight and then wake up all fucking drowsy, all tired. Shit like that, And then it's funny that you see the minority. The few people that do those things are usually the people that kind of take those extra steps forward. They kind of keep moving up as everybody else is kind of stagnating.
Yeah.
Kind of like, oh, I'm trying to figure it out. And I'm that person. I'm like that guy. I'm trying to figure it out. You know, and you see these people that are fucking just doing it because they're not telling people shit. They're just doing what they need to do. And they don't need to sit there and feel better about themselves or whatever.
Yeah, and it's, I think that's just all part of humanity and the new society and stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, dude, if anybody, it doesn't matter who you are, where you are right now, if you, sat down and wrote down the facts per minute, you say, okay, yeah, I'm tired, I can't do it because this, that. Well, you were on your phone for 45 minutes that last Tuesday. That was a great time to do it. You know what I mean? There's always these little things. Okay, tell me. Let me go ahead and go through your phone, add up all the hours.
Yeah. Or when
you've been on it for this month.
Yeah.
This month.
You feel like an asshole. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. You look at it, you're like, whoa.
I've been on it 6 hours a day for this week. What the fuck am I doing, bro?
Oh man. Yeah. And you think about it. You're like, okay, you'll never get those back. You can't make it up. It's just like sleep. Yeah. You say you'll catch up on sleep. No, you can't. You just do it.
Done. Yeah.
So
and if you don't want to catch up on that sleep, fucking make the time you don't sleep fucking productive.
Even that one's, dude. You go to sleep. It's a necessity. You got to find your clock. There's actual it's 7 to 8 hours is the average of a human being. As you get older, sometimes it gets less and stuff, whatever it is. But if you used that fact and said, okay, well, if this, make sure I'm not tired and stuff, and just went to bed instead of drinking all the caffeine and stuff, dude, just exactly. A simple actual fact changes. Bro, a lot of us know how many the United States would be an unstoppable force.
Yeah. And we all know
because it's all part of humanity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's you think of whether it's school, your job, anything, and I think it's all derived off of this long tangent from the question you asked about what I do.
I know, and I want to get back to the stocks too, because you were saying basically 3. I don't even remember what you were talking about, but it was 3. It was kind of for beginners, 3. What do you want, short term or long term? And that's basically where you ended at.
Short term,
growth or long term growth. Yeah. And then it was and then we didn't finish because I asked you about your job. So let's get back into that. Actually, let's go to that.
Yeah.
So what are the 3?
So
3 things you're looking at?
Yeah, I'll transfer back in. So you're talking about short term, long term, and then I would say volatility. So, I would even include, you're also looking at your risk level. You got to be honest about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can look up information on like risk levels and stuff to kind of learn a little bit more, but essentially, you got to set your goals, man. You can't. If you're really going to play with it, then is that something that you're going to do every single day? Are you going to make sure you play with it just enough to actually make it do something for you?
Yeah, I'm up.
It's not directly to you, too.
Yeah, but for me, personally, I'm up. Dude, it's weird. I even go to sleep late sometimes, like I'm saying on this podcast, like you shouldn't do. And I wake up pre-market, bro. I wake up pre-market, and I sit there and watch the fucking stocks for like a good hour in the morning until like I get to like I feel like I'm good for the day, and then I'll let it go if I don't need any moves or anything. But yeah, dude, I'm up at like fucking right before 6, bro, waiting for that market to open and waiting for. Well, I'm only on Robinhood, and I just opened a Webull account because Webull, I think you can trade a little bit earlier. Pre-market's like 4 in the morning or something. You can trade. So I just opened a Webull, and I don't have much money, so I'm not really opening any big accounts where you got to pay to trade and all that. So I'm not trading any options or anything yet. I haven't gotten deep yet.
Yep.
But yeah, bro, like that exactly. Fucking. What else, bro? What else for a beginner?
But you see that, and it's like, even that can go a little deeper. Okay, yeah, you wake up and watch the markets and stuff like that, but the most effective traders.
What is it?
They're looking up the research. They know what the company is doing. Why am I putting money into this? Because he said that, or because I just read on official documents that this is what's going on, this is the new move, whatever, and I believe this is going to be a good score.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
You're looking at the actual fucking real information, not bullshit.
And you're trading based off of it. Yeah, that's the difference. A lot of people say it goes up, down, and they think it's just, it does go up and down because that's a normal adjustment, but there's ups and downs that happen that aren't massive, but they're there, and that's because you read the knowledge,
Have you done a lot of, I guess, graph reading? Like, do you sit there and read graphs?
Nope.
Read none of that shit? You don't do any of that?
Nope.
Do you think it's kind of like, is it too much? Like you think if you look too much into graphs, you're not really looking at the
Are you talking
actual...
about, like, personally investing?
Yeah,
like
I guess.
My job.
Like personally investing, like yourself. Like when you're investing in yourself, if you're looking at a stock, are you looking at graphs much? Like, are you looking at the year graph or the 3 months graph, or if it's on a downtrend, if it's on an uptrend? If are you looking at any of that shit? Or because I see people talking about like it's making like a nice cup and handle, or like a tea or whatever, a cup of tea or whatever, and it like makes a little like down and then it pops back up or whatever. Like, do you watch those graphs a lot?
So I do when I go to invest or make a trade.
And I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about you, obviously.
Yeah, so this is, it goes back to also knowing what I'm looking at, too.
Yeah.
It's not just a line, it's there. This is like revenue, this indicates a value, and I need to identify what the value is, otherwise I don't know what I'm looking at. So you go to the papers. You go, to the statements, analyst reports, whatever it is that's provided that you can make sure and do your due diligence on. Then you look at it, you go, okay, now I get where it is, why it's there. And then you start realizing, hey, that little squiggly line, you're like, okay, that was no big deal, I didn't make a change stuff. Because you start going, hey, I know what it is, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You take your own perspective and you stand by it, and you know what I mean? That's how the investing is best. Best efforts right there.
Yeah.
So I would say I do look at the graphs for that purpose, but I more importantly, like you were saying, the years, months, time frames, timeline. I do look at all of them.
You do, yeah.
And you'll see the differences between short-term gain, long-term gain. Long-term gain, these are businesses or investments that have been around a long, long time. That you're like, hey, this is a steady growth. You can look at theirs in years and you see how it gradually moves. If you look at, I'm going to make my best bang on the buck, then that's when you start looking at graphs that are like that.
Yeah,
because,
exactly.
They're new or whatever it is, and there's
super volatile. One
change, whatever it is, can make a huge difference in that company. It's like, this is the hurdle, not, hey, this is a project going out.
So let's say you're looking at a graph, right? You're looking at the last 3 months or 6 months, year, whatever, and you see a huge jump. If you, for example, personally, and you're looking at a stock, do you go to that day and do you try to find what the catalyst is? Do you try to find what made it jump on that day? Like the news or what Like, do you go back and look at the history and see what made the stock jump, or is that just you just kind of look at it and you just kind of see it as, I don't know, just like the graph. I don't know. I'm just trying to like get information, because stocks, I've become super intrigued by them, and I've really wanted to get somebody in that has any sort of expertise or any sort of anything on stocks, and just even like, bro, like I'm interested in like, what the fuck is a reverse split in a stock? What is that? What is that? I don't even know what that really means. I don't even know how to trade options. I don't know what a put is. Like calls. I don't know any of that stuff. So just all that stuff is super interesting to me, and I'm barely catching on right now. So anything about stocks, dude, that you want to lay, any information is, I'm all ears. Anything you want to talk about, definitely. Investments, anything. And if it gets too deep, obviously, move on to something else.
I mean, like, you're talking about things like reverse split and stuff. This is all stuff like, you can, find on financial firm sites and stuff if you go, and a lot of it's free. But, you think it was, what a stock split is?
No.
Okay, so you're literally splitting stock. So if you...
Is that what a reverse split is?
No, it's the opposite of it. So if you're talking about a split,
okay. Makes sense.
You're going, hey, the value of the stock's going to go down because they're going to take the stocks that exist and make more. Mm-hmm. So they're splitting them. The value goes down. It's not just new incoming. This is a new issue of stocks. It's, hey, I'm taking what I have and I'm going to split some of them, and then all the value gets put down.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah, so reverse split is, I have so many outlying, and I have a bunch that aren't purchased or whatever, and I have this many that are purchased. I can go ahead and take some of those out. That way they're not sitting there, and the value of the stock goes up, but there's less of them.
Makes sense.
So reverse
split.
But, if you start looking at options trading is your calls, puts. I personally haven't had experience with my accounts in it. I know.
They look pretty scary to me, bro.
I know what they
I've
are.
heard some big losses happen in those.
Yeah.
I know what they are.
Depends on what you're doing. You can hedge, certain things and stuff, but I would say it's essentially, you think of a call. A call, an option is purchased. Put it that way first. Options purchased. Two of your options are calls and puts. There's more, but calls and puts is what you mentioned.
Yeah.
If you purchase a call from someone, you're saying, hey, I'm going to pay you this much per share. So let's put numbers out. The stock is $20 a share. Mm-hmm. You're going to purchase a call from me for $3 per share. Okay, and say you have 100 shares. So that's 3 times 100.
300?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was like, sure. Right.
$300 you paid me for a call.
Yeah.
So that means if the price of the stock shoots up, your call was a purchase to say, hey, I have the ability to buy stock at that price even if it goes up. So you purchased a call saying, all right, I'm going to pay $300, but that stock, I want to be able to buy it at $25 if it skyrockets. Stock goes to $44, you purchase it at $25, you make a profit, right? Okay. So if you exercise it, then you're using the call saying, I'm going to make that purchase that I, kind of held earlier.
Yeah.
Like a coupon. That coupon can expire. So a call is a place saying, I'm in a position where I think it's a bullish market. Forgive me. Bullish is going to go up, yes. And this is why I'm buying the call. Because I have a strong belief based off of the material I've read that is going to go up. I'm going to be able to purchase the stocks at that, and I'm going to make that profit right off the bat. Put is the opposite. Put is
drop.
You think it's going to drop, so this is the price that you promised to buy it back from me. So now you're buying another coupon. It's different. The coupon's saying, "Hey, I have this time period, and if it goes this
low, if it goes up, and they buy it at that price they promised to buy it at, then you're losing money, obviously, because you got all that."
The person who wrote the securities, yes.
They lost the money.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but it's not just free, because you think of, not only placing it, the order or purchase or whatever it is, but you also consider the gap. I don't know the correct terminology at this time, but you're saying, hey, I want to buy it at that if it goes up. Okay, right now it sits at 20. You said if it goes up to 25, or no, sorry, if it crosses 25, I want to be able to buy it at 25. So they set it above what it is. Mm-hmm. So you better believe strongly that market's going up in that stock is going up in the market, because if it does, it goes to 28. You're gonna go, okay, I spent my money. What was it, 300 you spent? So I could purchase it at 25, 28. I break even. But I exercised it. I broke even. I didn't lose the money for buying it and not use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So you put those into the, I guess you put those into consideration, because it's not like, all right, it's going to go to 44 and they're going to give you the difference from 25 to 44. No way. Mm-hmm. It's not how it works, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it has to, they take an educated guess as well. Oh, we think it's going to go up. Okay, then you can buy it at, 26. They always put it higher and higher if they think it's true, you know what I mean?
Is there any reason you would get into options over stocks?
I mean, if you have a fair amount of money and
it's more money,
and you want growth, some risk, whatever it is, that's my guess on it. I'm not gonna.
You're not.
I'm not telling anybody anything right here, but I'm just saying, if you have money to play with, sure.
It's a little higher risk, higher reward. Can be higher risk, can be higher reward.
It can be, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could even use it. If you have money that's worth saving like that too, you can use it against falling markets. You talk about a put.
Uh-huh.
You're buying the right to say, hey, you buy it back from me at this price because it's below this now, So take that into consideration, this economy. If you bought a put on your shares to hedge the falling economy, you're saying, hey, so my stuff's up here, but I'm going to buy a put because if it gets here, I want to be able to sell it. I don't want to lose any more. So you do that and, could safeguard. Ultimately, though, you don't do that unless it's something that it's volatile.
Yes.
You're talking about beginners. You're thinking long term, man. It's long term is just the way to go.
That's just the best move to not lose all your fucking money.
Straight
obviously.
Up.
Yeah,
it's straight up. Unless that's your job, you shouldn't be doing short term. Period. I would say long term, maybe some short, whatever. You be you.
Yeah, yeah.
But my thought on it is, I want to get to here. Smarter. I want to buy a house. I want to buy whatever it is. Okay, I'm going to put it down the road because now in 1 year, I know this is exactly what I'll have, or roughly around this. Interest rates change, but at the same time, you have a permanent goal. You're not playing with your money, going, "Oh, I hope I get this."
Yeah, exactly. You're not really gambling. It's not. You don't want to gamble, especially if you're if you're a beginner and you don't want to lose all your money. It's not really about gambling, and stocks aren't really. If you're investing in like a blue chip stock, I feel like it's more of a blue chip stock. I don't even know if that's a word, but I use it as like football athletes. Is. Yeah.
Blue chip stock is
if you're like investing in Disney, like how far is that gonna drop? It's gonna drop, but it's gonna come back. It should come back. And if you invest in a penny stock, it might never come back. It might be.
Well, you gotta be honest. Securities. What you put in, if it goes bye-bye, it's bye-bye, period. Unless it's like bankruptcy, then you're covered, through insurance, depending on where you are and stuff. But, that's different. But at the same time, if you're going to be putting your money into something, you better believe that's something that your money should be in. Because if not, I've seen money go boom.
Quick.
I'm telling you.
Hey,
okay.
I was doing the opposite of what you say, right? I'm doing the short-term game because I'm a risky guy and I have fun doing it. And I was in this stock, I think it was Genius. It might have been Genius, and they just flew up today, and it just ran again today. But I got in there like 60, right? Like 60 cents a share. Sold it like $135 a share the next day. And then right after I sold, bro, that shit dropped right back down to 60 cents a share. Literally like 2 minutes later, bro, it went from 135 and just shot down. And it went back up and like crawled its way, not all the way up there, obviously, maybe like 70, 80 cents or whatever. But that's just an example, dude. Penny stocks are like just volatile, man. You don't know where it's going. You have no idea. And you have an idea, you know, you can kind of guess. And some brands that are considered kind of penny stocks aren't really penny stocks because they do have some backing. And you got to, like you said, do your research, look at the actual what's behind the product. But yeah, that's an example of just, it's a sketchy world out there, bro.
Yeah. And there's some big businesses, like the one I was telling you, there's some competitors to them, and you'll see the average if you take your graph, talk about graphs, if you're paying attention to what's going on, there's an average going on. And then with volatile stocks, even some of them, like that one was on average, $2.70, had two massive peaks in the past 10 years.
Uh-huh.
And those massive peaks reached to $200-something.
Jesus.
So,
yeah,
talking volatile, like what happens if a guy purchases at 200? Boom, you're down to $2.80 a share. You bought 100 of them because you're a big baller. You know how much money that is? And boom, gone. You have no idea if it's coming back. It's all based on the full faith of your, that investment,
you're
company,
holding on,
whatever it is.
Your bag holding.
So yeah, so you gotta like. That's why I say volatile stock is hard to deal with, especially if you don't have money, because you know what I mean. You learn a lot of things in life. You just learn many of them at a younger age. So it's like if you come at it from a perspective like, hey, I have a few more ways to look at this, it's usually more advantageous than just jumping straight in, dude.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of apps and kind of things you can check out, resources where you can like fake trade, you can do a trade and it's not
that's awesome. It's actually really good.
Yeah, and I remember actually the first time I even did that was in high school in like a government economics class or something in high school my senior year, and it was really interesting to me. I bought into Sony and I knew they were dropping the PlayStation coming out, and that was like the main thing I bought in my class, and it went up like, I don't know, I would have made like $200, and it was like a couple months later, and I don't know. So for anybody that's a beginner, I would suggest that if you don't have no money and you don't want to lose your money right off the bat, because you'll see some fucking news and you'll think you're like the first one to see it and you're the last guy to see it. I think that's the best way to do it is go in, practice a little bit, use some fake money, and then
definitely
use your real money.
There's actually even applications that put your money, your fake money. You start out with this money, and they put your fake money in the real market.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So your money's not acting in a simulation; it's acting towards the actual market. You don't make anything. Oh, it's fake money.
Yeah.
But that is an awesome way to start because investing long term is good for you. It just is. If you do, you can retire. There's just so many things. Putting your money in a savings account is not good for you.
Yeah, it's just how much you're gonna make, dude. You're not gonna make anything off of it.
You don't. There's no growth whatsoever. It's this tiny little percent. Even if you put your money in most of the firms and stuff like that, you'll usually make a little bit more just leaving it there in cash.
Yeah.
But no, like you're saying, trade fake, and you just then it shows. You start going, I lost, and you start thinking, oh man, like maybe I shouldn't do this with money. Well, that's when you have that little turn of, oh man, what if I read up on this company? I'm going to read real quick. Yeah. I'm going to do this one time. I'm going to read into this because I heard something about it. Ooh, this has popped up. I think it's actually going to go up. And then you make that one move of okay, it's my final $200 of fake money. And you put it in there and you're like, hey, it actually went up. Yeah. And even if it wasn't substantial, it went up. Yeah. And you're like, I did read a little bit more, and now they're coming out with something else, and I think it's going to go up a little bit more. Leave it in there. Or it's going down. I'm going to pull out, see if it goes down. Stuff like that. Then you start having the actual, this is, okay, I can't be, here's a game. I have to be involved. You have to make it you.
And like you said, educated guess, as well as you got to trust yourself. You got to have that, okay, I know it's time to get out. You can't be one of those guys, just hold. I'm going to make an extra 2 cents. You got to know, okay, it's time. Or hold, and like you said, I know it's going to keep moving up, and trust yourself, and like you said, if you're playing with that fake money, you see it happen, you see something happen that you believed was going to happen, you're like, okay, I kind of am starting to figure it out. I'm kind of learning a little bit, and that keeps you from especially when you're losing your real money, dude, it makes you super out of it very quickly. You're like, fuck this, you know? Like, you lose like $100, $200, you're like, I'm out, bro. Fuck this. I'm not doing this shit no more. I'm done.
No, but the only thing is, you gotta also consider, you don't lose money unless you sell it.
Yeah, exactly. And people, dude, I've had to learn that lesson the hard way.
You know, and a lot of people will. It's just how
you gotta sell low sometimes.
No, but that's the thing. You don't have to sell low.
Exactly. You don't have to.
If you are very, either educated on it or you think from a logistic perspective, why are you selling? Why? Do you genuinely think that entity, whatever you're invested in, is going to go, boom, gone?
Nope.
Well, you don't know. It could be lemonade stand. Okay, yeah, I think it's going bye-bye. I'm selling. I'm done.
Yeah.
But if it's, if you do just a tiny bit of reading, that's where you get your, hey, I see what happened, but because I know what it is, and I'm like, yeah, I think this will come up. I genuinely do think this will get back up, whatever, for whatever reason. Then you stay in. You don't confirm your loss. You go, I did it for the, not just making money, but I did it because I believe in it.
Yeah,
dude, that stuff makes you money. That's where you go. You know what I mean?
Yep. And knowing too, it doesn't have to stay up forever. It needs to go up for that. You need to see it for a day. That's like keeping an eye on the market. Keeping an eye on your stocks. Every day, at least looking at it in the morning, whatever, something like that. Like it doesn't need to stay up forever. As soon as you make you're back in the green or whatever, and you feel like you made a mistake, get the fuck out. And, once you're down, you can hold on for a little and let it go down, because it's gonna, not every stock, but a lot of them are gonna make that jump at some point. They're gonna make that little pump.
What goes up though must come down. What goes down must come up. So you gotta play from a very understanding perspective. Yeah. Even if you don't know anything, you gotta genuinely be like, okay, this just makes sense. You know what I mean? You gotta have that. But it even circles around to how much time you spend on the phone.
Yep. Yeah.
So
exactly.
You spend 6 hours that month. Well, you could have checked in how many times to see your stocks and how they're doing, or read a 10-minute article, whatever. Yeah. 6 hours? Dude, that's a lot of time.
Dude, that's like a full-time job. You're like basically fucking... Well, you can do stocks all day, almost.
Yeah, but like if you're talking about only 6 hours for a month, there are people who are as bad as a day in 6 hours. I'm serious. There's people that will be on their phone for 6 hours.
Yeah, not for real.
And they don't realize it. They wake up 3 hours.
Well, let's say you're on YouTube. You're on YouTube watching a podcast.
Whatever
it's
it
like
is.
3 hours. Right
whatever
there.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously. And, even those heavy users, those are like the people you have to get in your life too, because not just stock. You don't want to, unless that's what you're really passionate about and you're doing reading like crazy and all this shit, okay, maybe you can make it a 6 hour gig in your day. But at the same time, if you're not, then you're like, okay, well, this is going to benefit my life because fact. All right, next frame of time. Okay, I was on YouTube again watching this. Well, I mean, if it interests me that much, maybe I should do it because they're making money by watching my videos. So maybe I should just do this. Whatever it is, just get involved with it. It's like stocks. First time investors should play on the, their phone. Any application that allows them to put, fake stocks in there.
Start benefiting the knowledge,
Yeah.
Take that time you're on your phone, take that time you're fucking around doing something, and make it beneficial for you. Like fucking around on a fake stock or whatever, make it like me, like doing a podcast. I got some extra time, I just do a podcast. I don't know if it's going to ever do something, but I'm going to keep doing it because I think it's beneficial for me. At least I get to talk to you're talking to me about stocks. I get to talk to all these different people that tell me about just all these different experiences in their life. And a lot of the times, especially in this modern fucking age we're in, people don't talk, bro. Like, people don't sit there and talk for hours or even have a 1 hour conversation, just look at each other and talk. People are awkward, and I've caught myself being like that. I've caught myself at times walking through a crosswalk and holding my phone at nothing because I feel awkward if the car's looking at me or whatever, I've caught myself doing shit like that, and that's why I do this podcast. I feel like people are too caught up in this, and they're not face to face and actually having human contact, and that's gonna be a negative in the future. I feel like for us as a human race, like not really feeling that, feeling like everybody's just kind of like, on the screen, everybody's fake. And that's why I like to have this podcast. I like to talk to people. Yeah,
man. I think it makes a huge difference, too, because if you think about doing this instead of being on the phone, you're talking to me like I get on tangents. I know I get it, but at the same time, like there's so much to talk about on everything.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I think part of the whole I'm stuck into the phone stuff. You think when we didn't have it, people this is why life was so much better. People would wake up, they had something to do, job, school, whatever it is, and then they found something fun to do. There was no video game or phone, whatever, to check out, so you found something you like kicking a soccer ball. I like that, okay? You end up hanging out with the kids down the park, whatever it is, and, it's part of your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you get that disconnected here, and you're watching these people are keeping tradition. All they've done is added a camera to what they're doing.
And they're literally doing everything that you still want to do. You're just watching them do it when you could just be doing it yourself.
Yeah, and that's the huge that's the huge gap you're looking at and stuff. It's being. I'm me because this is what I'm doing in my life. Hey, I'm a human being too. I have my own life. I can do whatever I want, just like you can do whatever you want. This is what I'm working on. You know what I mean? And then you get into this. I spend 6 hours a day on my phone scrolling through whatever,
my life
and you're
away.
just like. Dude,
Yeah.
take yourself, dude. Look at yourself in a fucking video.
Yeah.
You're watching yourself. You didn't move from that position for 6.
Like, what an exciting person, bro. Like, I like watching you.
You're looking. You're going. Okay, fact. I'm gonna tell what my life factually is based off my decisions to my kid when I'm 35. Son.
This is it, dude. This is all I've done. This is me, son.
This is
I'm
me.
The best.
6 hours a day. This is what I did.
I'm the best fucking swiper in the world, bro. Like, that's, I get you, bro. It's all
Imagine
bullshit.
your kid looking at that and sitting through and actually watching that shit for 6 hours.
Bro, that's why I do the shit I do, and that's why I can't sit here and just sit on my phone, and that's why I do the podcast, and I hope at some point it pops off, because, like, I gotta do something, bro. I can't be one of those people. I'm not gonna let myself be the majority, because that's the majority of people nowadays. They're fucking these lazy assholes that don't do shit in their lives, bro. That are, like, I've even talked to you even before the podcast. People are fucking flaky, and people are just I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know. I think it's too much phone, too much fakeness, and that's why I do this podcast. I want to keep it real, bro. I really like keeping it real, and even if it drives people crazy, even if I have a lot of haters, even if I have people that don't even like my shit, I just like keeping it real, for me at least. And at least I know, like, if people don't like it, at least I feel like I'm keeping it real for myself. And, like, for a long time, I feel like everybody tries to put on, especially once you're in high school, bro. When you're in high school, you try to put on this, persona. Yeah, you try to be cool, or whatever. And I've realized, especially once I was out of high school, bro, like, I like being fucking weird, bro. I like being me. Like, I like being my own person. Like, fuck that cool shit. Fuck I gotta be this certain way, bro. And I just think a lot of people need to understand, like it doesn't really matter how you are. And, like, my son even the other day, and I keep going on a tangent, kind of. My son told me he wanted fucking braids, and I was like, all right. I was like, if you want braids, you want to have dreads or whatever, I was like, you gotta rock them. Like, you gotta have them and don't be embarrassed. I was like, you want to have fucking cornrows or whatever you want, dog? Rock them. Be real with them and rock what you want to be. And that's just kind of how I feel. And that's why I do the podcast again. It's just because I like talking to people. I just like being real with you guys and being real with everybody out there and not trying to put on a persona. And I think that's just having kids, bro. I had kids, and kind of all the embarrassing shit went away. I've gotten pissed on and shit on like 100 million times, bro. I've had kids yelling in restaurants, and I don't know, bro. I just like keeping it real. I enjoy it.
Yeah, and I think even touching that, dude, you go back to what you were saying earlier. You go, the cool persona. Now it's developed around social media, things like that.
Yeah.
So you see kind of a fluctuation that's been happening over a handful of years, but like. When's the last time you saw someone go, dude, you aced that thing? Sick.
Tight,
and
bro.
all your friends were like up there like, heck yeah,
Never.
Fucking never.
Yeah.
When's the last time you saw a guy go, oh, dude, I bombed it? And then everybody goes, ha, me too. You know what I mean?
And they're like in the
all
group.
the time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's they're busy doing other things. Yeah, I get it. You have your life and stuff, but at the same time, like, now that education that, oh, dude, I didn't know that. Now I know it. And then all of a sudden it becomes something that you cross in life and you're like, whoa, I never expected that to happen. But look, paying my taxes, paying my bills. This happened, whatever. I know how to do this because I paid attention wherever it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and learning becomes fun, bro. I've realized, especially once I've gotten out of high school, learning's fun. I enjoy sitting there and learning some fucking wisdom from people, and sitting there and hearing people's stories and gaining knowledge. Because if you don't, bro, you're not gonna go nowhere. If you don't like hearing nothing, you're not gonna go anywhere. You don't like to learn.
So you talk about cool persona and stuff. That's part of like stepping out. When we first said like, you just face that. Okay, you're doing you,
exactly.
and that's you. That's it. You just look in the mirror, you're like, okay, this is who I am. Wow, I would never fucking say I'm doing what I'm doing to a girl. But I'm still doing it? Okay, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you're playing video games for, what is a dude that's late high school playing video games for 5 hours, let's say. 5 hours, you get no sleep, you go to school, you're a cool kid, right? Would you say to a girl, hey, I play video games for 5 hours?
No.
What about the guys that are 20, 25, 28 that are still doing that shit? That's,
it's not really...
Bro, like...
Yeah, exactly, bro. I get you, and I'm one of those guys. I'm just like, I play video games a little bit. No
I do too, dude.
I play a little bit of Fortnite, and I play a little bit of Madden.
You ever play Rocket League?
No, I never played.
Oh,
I never played. I got
addicting.
The Rocket League's pretty cool. I had a lot of buddies play that, but I actually got I had the PlayStation VR.
Okay.
And I didn't get too deep in
it
it, bro. I haven't played too deep in it. I played a little bit, and it was just too much, too many cords. I almost got the Oculus, but I'm a dad, bro. I have enough money to buy a $400 video game system or whatever, bro. Like I'm a grown up. I'll let it go. Yeah.
But you still have to chime in on the video games.
Yeah, I still like video games. I still like them, dude.
See, that's the thing, too. I think a lot of people, hate those. A lot of people even down those. But, bro, okay, what's wrong with the video game? You're staring at your phone, looking through Pinterest at clothes, not talking, not socializing. I'm talking shit because I'm pretending like I'm here, when really I know I suck at the game. But I'm, going back, I'm human interaction, you know what I mean?
And video games, too, bro. It comes down to, I've had this conversation with a couple people that have kept it, that are real hard workers and shit on the daily, and it comes down to how are you on the daily? Do you do the grind? Are you grinding? Are you putting in the work on the daily? Like, if you're putting in the work, you're working out, you're keeping healthy, you're doing all that shit, dude, what's the problem with playing a video game for an hour or 30 minutes if you're fucking getting your shit done in the day, And that's kind of what I think the goal is, You want to have a drink, you want to smoke a blunt, you want to do something like that, bro, get your shit done during the day. And keep getting your shit done. And once you start not getting your shit done, those extras gotta go away. Like if you're just worried about just drinking and partying and you're not even taking care of business at home, then obviously that shit needs to go away. That's a problem. But if you can take care of business at home, take care of business at work, and then you still have a good time after, I don't see no problem with that.
You live by the fact, you just gotta do what you say.
Exactly.
Be you by being your best you, and don't cut yourself short. Exactly. Otherwise, you're just gonna start living a life of this is who I am or want to be, whatever it is. Most likely, you're gonna say you are that person, but in all reality, people he's not what he says.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's that's kind of What do you want to wrap this podcast up with, bro? Do you want to give any I don't know. What advice would you give your younger self if you were in high school?
I would give myself a lot.
Give me a couple pieces, and then let's wrap this baby up. Episode 32. Let's go.
Subscribe,
Cameron Dunn. Shout out, subscribe, hit the bell somewhere, bro. I don't whatever, dude.
Slap it.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
No.
What would you give yourself?
Kind of some of the things you said today, dude. Honestly, just be you, be your best you, and just do what you say. And talk to yourself every day. You talk about meditation. Meditation's healthy because you try to close your mind, stop, and everything like that. You can't meditate unless you're doing what makes you proud.
Yeah, for sure.
You kicked ass. Yeah, you might have gone through all this shit, but even in school as a kid, dude, I was nerdy McNerd, dude. I did study. I did all that stuff. But if I was just told, hey, dude, you're doing you. Stop looking around. Just do you. Look in the mirror and say, oh, by the way, I was doing this. And then make sure that when you tell yourself that, you're like, dude, that's fucking cool. You know what I mean? In your opinion.
Yeah,
fuck everybody else's.
Because it really doesn't matter.
It doesn't. And half the time, nowadays, people who, I killed that test right on. And then you're like, yeah, fuck, sound like a nerd. Or something like that. You know what I mean? Even unrelated to school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're dating a girl. Oh, yeah, dude, I told her this. Like, well, would you tell, like, you know, your dad, even your dad or your brother, hey, dude, I told a girl this? I mean, you don't know. You know, maybe you did, but maybe you're the type of person like, yeah, I told the girl this, like, haha. But you told her to be cool, like you're saying, or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Just be genuine, be you, and do you. You know, take away from the phone, live your life, represent yourself to be your best you, whether it's clothes, anything. If you want to be styled up, style yourself up. If you don't, okay, keep it cool, whatever, keep it clean, keep a trend, just be you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, I think all the bullshit would, a lot of it would fly by.
If you focus too, and I hear it all the time on the Joe Rogan podcast, because I'm a fucking Joe Rogan fanboy, fucking just focus, like you got a certain amount of energy, right? A certain amount of fucking energy you can give out. Like, if you just focus that energy on the things you can control, bro, your life's a lot better. I can tell you that, bro. Focus on the shit you can control. If you can't control it, fuck it. Doesn't even matter.
Yeah, no, and that's part of meditation, like you're saying, dude. Yeah. That time is like, hey, look, I'm just thinking about me right here, right now, stuff like that. Okay, I didn't do this, but I think I should be doing this because this is who I am. Okay, you apply it. Next time you meditate, did you do it? No? Okay, well, you're still there, you know what I mean? You can't control it, so don't fucking dwell on it, and if it really bothers you, change it. Live current, and like you're saying, if you can't control it, don't do it. If you can, stop bitching, change it.
Keep moving, yeah.
Even if it's a piece by piece, it's, live
slowly, bro, percentages. You gotta go slowly, percentages.
Yeah.
Episode 32, my boy Cameron, we'll probably see him on again. Alright, let's wrap this baby up.